Greetings and salutations to you, people of the interwebs. So, as a collector of action figures, Transformers, and stuff like that, there is, I think, a collector's fatigue that occasionally sits in. And lately, we've been getting so many kind of cool Chug figures and stuff like that, like Cannonball here. I've always wanted a Cannonball. And there we go. It came out as one of these Star Seekers sets, and really good figure. But there's a certain amount of fatigue that sets in, especially when the releases are so regular and really good figures. There's so many of them, isn't there? So it gets hard to be excited, I think, for a figure. Now today I'm unboxing a figure that I have had a ridiculous amount of anticipation for, which is MDLX what's it, Threezero Sideswipe. Now I saw the images of this, and Sideswipe is, well, what is Sideswipe? He's Transformers' best looking background character, really, isn't he? When I first saw an advert for Transformers in a Looking magazine or a Beano or something like that, Sideswipe was the poster boy. And even though I can't quite remember who my first Transformer was, I do know that Sideswipe was one of my first Transformers. It was certainly Transformer I wanted first. And eventually I got him. I've shared this before, but if you're new to the channel or haven't seen the videos, this is my Junker G1 childhood Sideswipe. He's scratched, dented. He has skids his arms because lost Sideswipe's original arms, so can't transform. His stickers are all tatty, barely there stickers. Head sculpt still looks great, but it just remains that this, I play by the rule. I don't break the rules. I just bend them a lot, is Sideswipe's motto. And he's always been this rebellious Lambo, part of the Lambo brothers, twins, which is just an odd thing that they made them two brothers and twins when there were so many other Transformers within that, first cohort who were repaints of each other. They would have been seen. It would have been more more cohesive if the ones that look the same would have been siblings. But I guess maybe they just didn't want to, directly call out, that's the same figure as that figure, make it so obvious. But yeah, so he's always been a special figure to me, because even though in the comics and in the cartoon he didn't do a terrible lot, he lent Optimus Prime his backpack once. He helped dig Jetfire out of the ice. He stumbled out really badly damaged and did a radio call during the Dinobot hunt. There's not much that Sideswipe actually did, which is a shame, because he is the best looking Autobot. He is the best. Sunstreaker might have that in his bio. There's things in the bios that blatantly things have been accidentally swapped around, especially talk of pile drivers and jetpacks and stuff like that would be more suited to the actual toy of Sunstreaker than it would to Sideswipe. But yeah, he didn't do a terrible lot, but in my toy box, in my playtime as a child, he was a freaking star. You could just tell how much he was played with, beloved. So, with Threezero, done the DLX line, and we've had our Optimus, we've had our Megatron, we've had Bumblebee, a Cliff Jumper repainted Bumblebee, but a straight repaint, not actually make it look like Cliff Jumper. We've had Starscream with Thundercracker and Skywalk suitably following. I should think who else, but you know, Rodimus Prime we've had. So we've had these major cohorts. For them then to choose the next one to be our best looking background Autobot is just something of a marvel, and I had to get it because it looked so good, so good. So yeah, this has been one of my most anticipated, I won't do the gag again, releases of this year, and that's why I wanted to share my unboxing with you, because it's a special time. This is a special one, so I wanted to share it with you guys, because, you know, I appreciate you watching my videos. So we have some the warranty sheet, which we might need. I needed it with the Threezero RC because one of the shoulders broke. And Threezero, absolutely brilliant. You know, once the sheet was filled in, once we did all the online stuff, they sent me a replacement part, and you know, pretty much hassle free. Drink it in. Oh, look at this. Look at this. So we've got an instruction manual. It doesn't transform, but we still need to be told what bends were. Wow. Let's see. Oh, that is some oily paint. You can smell the petrol. Yeah, it's almost like a new car smell. Wow. So, unlike some of the other releases that had metal parts on the Threezero for the bigger releases, like the Bumblebee movie Bumblebee, which is part of the larger range. These are predominantly the plastic, but it's an expensive plastic. It's got some little wrappings around his leg here. I'm trying so hard not to say plastic again, but I just did. So just be careful. Obviously these are here to protect the paint, so I don't want to go in after they've done such a grand job on his travels to protect his paint. Oh, there goes a hip skirt. The hip skirts right here, so one of them has popped off, so it looks like it's on, yeah, it's on a ball joint. just to kind of, just to annoy me on my first, you know, unboxing of it. It just pops off, even though it's not a big deal. This is a collectible. It's not a toy, so it doesn't need to have that kind of be as wow. So I'd continue that train of thought, but he's beautiful. He is absolutely beautiful. Just drink that in. Wow. That Sideswipe. I was like, from some of the first pictures and stuff like that, I was a bit worried about the head sculpt, but nah. That Sideswipe. That is just absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Just look at the detail. Look at the details. Look at the panel lining. How everything's been picked out. I don't know if it's a wash or if that's just someone's just gone in and painted there. It's under, you know, this doesn't transform. I feel like it could transform. It's just so wow. They know it's like they've made it so it doesn't transform because that's, you know, that's the line. You know, that's the line of these figures. These articulated non-transforming Transformers figures. That's kind of what they do. But whoever's designed them knows how this transforms. They just haven't done it. It's almost like, I believe there's a range where they're going to be doing the Rodimus, the Flame Toys Rodimus, but they're actually going to do a transforming version. They could very well, I mean, if they wanted to, and I would not say no, if they wanted to do a version of this that transforms, I'd be in for it. I would be so in for it. So I'll always love the spines that they give people, give Transformers on Threezero. If you want to talk about how they should just modernise Transformers designs, this is it. This is what I want to see. As much as I love, you know, what Hasbro have been doing, what third party have been doing in some respects, of them just kind of capturing what it was like back in the day, but making really highly articulated versions of that. And, you know, I respect that. I do like that. I do buy that, clearly. But I'm someone who wants to see Transformers continue to grow and change, just like they do. And I think this, while keeping that original intent of what Sideswipe is, looks so clean and modern as well, that I just love to see that this is the art direction that they took in shows, in media, in comics. I'd love this to be to the standard kind of design, rather than just keep defaulting to the past. So it is defaulting to the past in a lot of ways. Like I say, all the design cues, but it's essentially they've just gone, yeah, but what if we just crank this kind of modernization factor up a little bit, not go like full on movieverse, not go on, not even full on, you know, the Bumblebee movie, but just be that ever so slightly tweaked to work for a modern sensibility. And there's probably was artists back in the day who did draw Transformers with this much detail in them. But to have that in an action figure, that when you bend the knees, there's knee joints. It's not just, you know, it's not just flat. It's not just a weird bend. There's a full-on elbows in there. Oh, he's got all the articulation. The people have done very good videos already. They'll give you the full range of articulation on this guy. I'm a face guy. I'm just going to talk to you about it. I'm not going to give you a full. There's people who do that, and they do very good jobs of it. And sometimes on YouTube, you just need to know, stick to what you're good at, which is waxing lyrical about a very handsome Lamborghini Transformer. We can offer you some size comparisons. So even though it's a premium figure, he ain't that big. He ain't that big. So here he is with the G1 Sideswipe. Love it. I love to see him. Love to see him. Here he is with, I suppose we'll do Kingdom Sideswipe. So he's probably about the size of a modern Voyager figure. I mean, some deluxes are this size, I think. So I think Sideswipe was a bit squat for a deluxe back in the day, but I don't think he is now, because the times are changing when we've got so much plastic. And here he is. There's another non-transforming Sideswipe, blocky Sideswipe. It does have a few features. So he's got his arm guards here. You can flip these around and have them as blades, as kind of a homage to the Bayverse Sideswipe, who, you know, he just wasn't a red Lamborghini, was he? So we're just going to flip those around and forget about that guy. We also have, let's see, I need to swap. We've got some swap out hands. So we've got like a holding hand and an emoting hand. So let's just pop his hands off. They're on little ball joints. Easy enough to swap out. So, yep, he's got new hands on. We do have a blaster, Sideswipes, iconic styling. I'd show you the G1 one, but you know, we're not. It's easier to arm him when he ain't got a hand. It's easier to arm him with his hand off. Well, does that make sense? Yeah, sure it does. So the Kingdom one's in white, but we can see similar stylings on these guns. I don't think, maybe not so much on the blocky one, but kind of on the blockies one. But the blockies one's kind of, I think they do a lot of sharing of guns, but yeah. So that's him with his gun. He does have these two posts on either side of his back, which pop off. You can take that off, and you can put his rocket launcher in place of that. That has a hinge on it. Got that. Excellent. That's good. I'm not sure why it needs a sight on it and why the scope is all the way up there. Because his eyes aren't. I suppose as a mechanical being, he might just be able to look out straight out of that. Let's say again, shall we? Put these hands away, because he also has pile drivers. So he's got this like jackhammerish one here. And he's got this more tenderizing one here. I think he used both in the cartoon, depending on who was animating it at the time. Which there we go. So they plug in. Now, I do think it's a bit cheap that they haven't given, especially for a premium figure, that they haven't given you two of each. Especially, it gets the OCD in me as well. That so I probably won't be using those because they can't be yeah, they can't be symmetrical. So that's the thing they have that I probably won't use, but I'm not that bothered. I prefer the gun and hands anyway. Look for Sideswipe. But all in all, this is a treat. This is just an absolute gorgeous treat. It's just so flexible, so movable. Aside from that hip skirt issue, still on the floor. We don't edit, so we're not scrabbling around on the floor to pick it up. We're just filming raw and just going for it. Yeah, it just looks this big old Lamborghini bell bottoms we have. And this is Sideswipe. The Transformers, the Autobots, definitely. Best looking background Autobot. I'm sure we'll get a red alert. We may even get some kind of conventional exclusive G2 Sideswipe, I should imagine, because you've got to make money at your molds, don't you, nowadays? So I'll probably pick up the G2 Sideswipe as well, if they do one. I think next up they have also a Jazz, which looks absolutely beautiful, but I'm a very big believer that you know, to try and create a collection, you don't need to buy everything. And as good looking as the Jazz is, I don't think I need to worship Jazz as much as I need to Sideswipe. Sideswipe is just Sideswipe. Jazz is not as big a part of my childhood as Sideswipe was. Outstanding, beautiful. So glad they made this. So glad that I have it. Just the shine on the paint. It's just absolutely beautiful. Seriously, my camera probably isn't doing it justice. I don't think any cameras are probably doing this justice. Wow. This is like the type of figure that I wish I was good as Jamie from Transformers the show at taking photos. I really do wish I was good as him at taking photos for when I get figures like this, because my God, he's going to look such a darling on camera. Absolutely beautiful. Well, that's me. This is me. No, this is me. Ugly old bald guy. This is Sideswipe. Best looking background Autobot. We're signing off. Hope you've enjoyed that little unboxing. Maybe a bit of a larger unboxing. I need to look at how long this was. And I'm glad that you've chosen to spend your time with me. Until the next time, be excellent to each other. Party on, dudes, and because you deserve it, bestow! Bestow!